we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
What's going on, everyone? We are in Everglades National Park on the Shark Valley Loop. I have no idea why they call it Shark Valley, but I guess we're gonna find out today. And we are reviewing the TSTEbike Defender. I am really excited about this bike. It is a full-size bike. You know, I've reviewed a couple other bikes in the past. This is a full-size 1300 watt fat tire e-bike. We're gonna do a 15-mile loop with this bike today. Kagan and Jude are with me. They're on different bikes. We've got some cold drinks packed, and we're gonna go have some fun. We are already hot. We did stop and fish on the way here. We were supposed to be here first thing in the morning, but you know me and fishing. So we're gonna get started. So probably shouldn't be filming and riding, but I am. When we researched, I haven't been on this trail before, but when we researched, this trail is famous for the number of alligators that will sun themselves on the trail itself. And there's supposed to be some wet sections where the water actually comes up to the road. It'd be cool if we get some close-up pictures of some alligators, and maybe even get Jude to ride one. All right, I kept riding by these spots. In the Everglades, like, the biggest problem is when you build a road, you have to elevate the land, and it stops the water from flowing the way it's supposed to. The highways that are already there, that's a huge problem because they can't undo what is already done. The solution would be, oh gosh, every couple 100 feet, putting a culvert pipe underneath the road so the water can flow south like it's supposed to. But they were smart. Every couple 100 feet in here, there is these little culvert pipes that are allowing, look how much water is moving. You know, this is the rainy season in Florida. The water is at its highest. So this is the side it's flowing from, and it's flowing to the other side. Oh, look at the amount of brim. I'm sure you guys can't see it. Whole bunch of fish there, because the small fish and shrimp and stuff are being sucked to them with the current. At some point, we'll probably find an alligator by one of those outflows just waiting for fish to flow to them. Now here's evidence that probably somebody is feeding the gators, because this gator is literally swimming right up to us. Now, Kagan and Jude are just standing there. They don't realize that if that gator wanted to, they're not going to be able to outrun them. They're very fast for a short burst. Super cool. I mean, that's a wild gator that just, from that island, he actually swam from that island all the way over to us. And it looks like he's going to come up on the trail behind us, all the way to the shore. We may even get to see this alligator cross the road here even. Very cool. Very cool, and also sad. I mean, this gator should be afraid of humans, maybe slightly curious, but probably not this curious. This is just rushing over because we're here. And, you know, that's how they easily get poached or hurt. And a gator that's not afraid of humans in a neighborhood is the one that's removed and killed. Wild animals shouldn't be fed by people. Kagan's standing over there. You ready to run? She's gonna get her close-up shot. So cool. That's where we wanted to go swimming, right?
I know. That's what we were saying, but I don't know if I want to go now.
It's not that big. Hopefully you guys can see this. Nice largemouth bass. There's another one over there. Oof. There's a horsefly on my arm. But that's these culvert pipes are loaded with the fish. And on this side, a whole bunch of Mayan cichlids. Where the tilapia, they kind of just scooted away. See if I can get a better shot of the Mayan cichlids. You guys could see like the real pretty salmon and almost turquoise color. Black spots. They're pretty fish. I see some armored catfish a little forward of them, further out into the grass. And there was a whole pile of tilapia here. They have worked their way into the grass. Oh, they're going way out there. Moving a lot of water. I hope you guys can see this. Kagan gets up here with her zoom. There's a really big soft shell. He's probably almost 3 foot in the shell. Here he's coming to surface over there. Oh, wow. That's a big one. This observation tower is beautiful. Have you ever been so hot that you see a rainstorm off in the distance and you just want it to rain on you? The heat coming off of this asphalt is incredible. Every time we stop, it just gets smoldering hot. I feel like that rainstorm's gonna catch us before we're done. I think we're halfway through, so we're like 7.5 miles through the loop. We've only seen the one gator so far, but at least it gave us a show and walked across the road. We'll see what we can't see on the second half. Crazy. All right, that's more interesting than this bat. Look at it. All right, it's the next day. We reviewed the footage from yesterday, and we really, for it being the best gator trail in all of South Florida,
wasn't very populated.
No, it sure wasn't. No, there was tons of evidence of alligators there. It was just such a hot day that I think that they were all hiding. Probably if we would have went earlier or later in the afternoon, we would have saw how many gators were there. But we did do some cool fishing. We fished hard, but only caught a couple fish yesterday. I guess it was just one of those days. So we're back in Okeechobee today, and we are at Taylor Creek Slough. I have filmed here before, but we could finish up this e-bike video. First thoughts after riding it yesterday: one, it's a beast. It's way faster than the other bikes. When they got going all out, I could actually just breeze by them so effortlessly.
Smoked us.
Smoked you guys. The bigger tires, obviously, once you have them like not aired up all the way, it adds to the suspension and the softness of the ride. I like a fat tire bike, but when you're straight pedaling, I owned one in the past when they first came out, and you go on a long bike ride with everybody, you would get worked because it's a lot more resistance to push. But having the electric motor assistance, that's the way to go. I'm really liking this bike, and the hydraulic brakes. I've never owned a bike with hydraulic brakes before, but the confidence in braking, whereas the mechanical cable brakes, they're pretty good, but if they're not adjusted right, you don't have that same stopping power. Let's go see if we can find some gators. So if you guys can see this great blue heron that has chosen this very confined space with the fence on all sides is what you call an Okeechobee box lunch. If a gator slid up to him, he has no way out. He is literally stuck in that cage. He wouldn't be able to fly from where he's at. He's in a very compromised place, and gators are smart enough to take advantage of things like this. I'm sure, and especially a gator that lives here would have seen this before and knows to take advantage of it. Not a smart place, buddy. I was gonna say no gators yet, but I think I see one. Right here along shore. Nope. More plants. What I will show you is some evidence of gators, and this is what we talked about on that other property. They're slides, which are obvious spots where they come across roads or paths or whatever, and a lot of times they'll choose the same path over and over, and it becomes almost like a really nice trail. This is not a great one, but you can see where the grass is pushed down, kind of goes in that direction and this direction, and he goes through the weeds right there. And then there's probably, you know what, I'm gonna turn around and find you a much better one. This is obvious to you guys. You guys can see the grass is actually laying down that way. So he's crossing from that body of water to over here, and he's laying the grass down as it slides down here. There's actually a path there and a path there, and you can see the shore vegetation where it's laid it down. So that's an alligator slide. Some of them will be worn all the way down to the dirt if they're using it daily, especially around a nesting area. All right, we made it to the north end of the park, and that shows you Taylor Creek. Then they dug this little man-made area with this lock and pump system where they're pumping the water out of Taylor Creek, which is, with the vegetation control and stuff in the state, the water's flowing too fast and it's not being cleaned, and all the nutrients aren't being cleaned out of it. So now there's a massive elevation difference if you look at the water there to way down there, that water. So they're pumping it into this area very high on this end, and this water has to meander through these trails of sawgrass and vegetation that have a chance to thoroughly clean the water of nutrients. And then on the south end of the park, it then lets it flow back, and that was Kagan zipping by, back into Taylor Creek. somewhat cleaner and with lesser nitrates and stuff in the water. But you know, they're trying to do small things like that to try and improve the water quality. I'm gonna say small things. I'm sure this cost a fortune to build, but I mean, we've created these problems through development. In the 50s and 60s, the Army Corps of Engineers started digging all these canals, maybe earlier than that. I'm not old enough to know all of that, but way back when we created these problems, and now we're trying to take some steps to clean it. I don't agree with all the practices. The spraying of weeds in the canals, I absolutely hate. But they do need the water to be removed from the neighborhoods and stuff like that, or the flooding, and then, you know, more and more problems. But you know, us human beings, we create our own problems. I don't know what's going on with the gators. I know there's times of the year where you see a lot more, but I mean, yesterday we even saw hot, sunny, and actually rode through the rain, and we didn't see any more or less when it was hot or cool. I'm sorry to disappoint. We still have a little bit of water to ride by on the way back to the truck, and hopefully we see one or two. We're gonna have to finish this up by the house because we have some absolute whiteout rain coming to get us. So we're gonna get these bikes loaded up and get out of here. They got back to the truck and got everything loaded before that rainstorm hit. It was nasty. So we're back at the house. We unloaded the bikes. That storm is still moving south to us, so it's gonna hit here in just a couple minutes. So the reason for this video was to review this beautiful bike. And I already discussed the hydraulic brakes. I probably didn't mention the 7 gears. I like the screen better than the other bikes. I really do like the way that's laid out. The shifter is super easy. So it's just a twist shifter. Same control for shifting up and down. Thumb control if you don't want to pedal at all and just use the electric motor. When that rainstorm was coming, I was able to leave Kagan in the dust and get away from the storm. Just kidding. I waited for her at the truck. But I really like this bike. It is way more comfortable for someone my size. The tires make it a much softer ride. Even though it only has the front suspension, I don't feel a need for the rear suspension because the tires definitely make up for it. So if you guys are looking for a reasonably priced 1300 watt e-bike, I highly recommend the TST Defender. All right, guys, until next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.